Hey YouTube, it's Jason with JJ Drones, and we are up and at 'em this morning. We actually slept in. It was a long day of filming yesterday, and you know, some of the time you just have to take and sleep in a little bit, just recharge your batteries. Now, I just want to take and show you, this truck has been working this week. Not sure how well it comes out on camera, but I mean, just all of the crud and stuff on the trailer. We're gonna have to get this cleaned when we start heading back. So we're gonna have to find a truck wash to get this truck and trailer cleaned up, because that is just nasty. But you know what? In the wintertime, that's what happens. So we've already picked up our load yesterday. We have a load of cheese in here, and it's going back to Wisconsin. But today, it's just gonna be all driving. We don't have any pickups, we don't have any deliveries. So we're gonna get into the truck, we're gonna do our pre-trip inspection, and then we're gonna head out. So let's get in the video.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
All right, guys, we're getting ready to go. Got the GoPros set up. Turn them on right now. Okay, GoPros are on. Put myself on the drive line and we can get out of here. Like I said, this isn't going to be like a crazy day, but not every day is a crazy day. Some days it's just driving. Now, if I had a shorter route where I did deliveries day in and day out, be a different story, but I don't. I'm a long haul driver, and some days it's just driving across the country, and that's what I love. Probably not going to be able to fly the drone today, but you never know. That's the thing with trucking, you just never know what you're going to be able to do or not do. We do have to stop for fuel in Three Forks, Montana, and that's 345 miles away. Now, if you notice, when I make my turns, when I end my turn, I'm always looking in both mirrors, and you may be wondering why. And the reason is because I've had multiple times to where I've made that turn and then somebody would try and come and pass me either my right or my left-hand side. So I'm trying to be cognizant of my surroundings, because I don't want there to be somebody sneaking up on my blind side or on my driver's side. And if they did, I want to be able to see what they're doing so that I can avoid any sort of malfeasance. So for those of you that are getting into the trucking industry or are already in the industry, when you make your turns, don't just stop looking in your mirrors when you finish the turn. Always be looking in your mirrors all the time, because you just never know if you're going to have that one impatient person that's going to try and pass you because they don't think that you're going fast enough. That's my tip of the day. We do have a scale house coming up. And it's usually always open. But we shall see. So there's our sign saying that we've got weigh in motion a mile ahead. And what that is, for those of you that don't know, there's actually little scale plates on the highway. And you can drive over those scale plates and it'll give the scale house a general idea what you weigh. I mean, it's not perfect. Anytime that you take a vehicle like this and you try and weigh it at highway speeds, it's not going to be perfect, but it's close. And they'll be able to tell you generally what you weigh. And if you go through the weigh in motion and, I mean, you're not even close, normally they'll let you pass. But if you're right there on the cusp of being illegal, or being overweight, I should say, then they'll bring you in. But there's just some times where they just bring you in just by virtue of the fact that they want to see your truck. They want to take a look and write down your DOT number and your license plate number and all that happy stuff, so that they can document that you went through their scale. Now you see that says that truck must exit to weigh station. So when we get up here to the scale house, we have to go in. Speed limit for the scale is 15 miles an hour, so we're going to slow down. It's actually going to be 3 miles an hour by the time we get down there, but we want to slow down to 15 miles an hour before we hit that sign, which we have successfully done. I'm just downshifting and letting the truck's motor slow me down. Looks like we have a gentleman working on the speed sensor outside. And he's smoking a pipe. It's not something you see every day. And we're good to go. Just remember now, when you leave the scale, the speed limit is still 15 miles an hour, so you're not going to leave that scale and jump up to like 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, leaving the scale. The speed limit is still the same for the rest area. You can't get up to highway speeds until you start getting on the acceleration ramp. I've seen so many drivers get off the scale and then hammer it like they're back on the interstate. You're not. You're still in a parking lot. So keep it at that 15 mile per hour speed limit until you get to the acceleration ramp, and then you can get back up to highway speeds. I've seen state troopers sitting here at the edge of the parking lot just waiting to nail a driver that decided that he's going to just take off at highway speeds now that he's not on the scale anymore. Just a word of advice. Now this stretch of Idaho is only 71 miles across, so it only takes you in a truck about an hour and a half. Now you see why. Because now I have to hit the brakes and give them more space cushion. I mean, if you really needed to get in that lane, just stay behind me, because all you're doing is making me hit my brakes. That's rude. People are rude.
Different life, deep connection, lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow
Now we are coming up to the top of the hill, and at the top of the hill you should be able to start seeing Lake Coeur d'Alene.
it's in the dark. We're dreamers. We're living. We're dreamers. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive.
Now if you look closely, I don't know if I'll be able to get it on the camera, but it looks like there's a little bit of fog right above the water. That is beautiful. I'm glad that I could share that with you guys. Might be able to see it better up here. I'm very thankful that I was able to do this trip, because I mean, what other time are you going to see something like that? I mean, yeah, if you did this on a regular basis, you'd see it more often, because I used to do this on a regular basis. But that was before I had a YouTube channel. It's just a driving day. I mean, if you guys have questions for me, feel free to ask. Put them in the comments down below, because I'm more than happy to answer questions. It's easier for me to answer questions than it is to think up what to say, because I've been doing this job for 20 years. It'll be my 21st year in January. Can you believe that? My driving career is old enough to drink in January. Okay, we're going up a mountain grade now. I really hate to try and pass this car because I know what's going to happen. But there's nobody in the left-hand lane here. So I'm going to go ahead and take the advantage while I can, because although I know that I'm going to slow down passing this car, okay? If there were traffic coming in the left-hand lane, I would have just slowed down and stayed behind the car. But I want to keep my momentum going as I'm going up the mountain grade. The more that you can keep your momentum going, the less you're going to have to downshift. And right now, I probably would have had to downshift 2 or 3 times. And it's all about fuel economy in today's economy. You want to try and keep your fuel economy as high as you possibly can. So you use that momentum going up the hill as much as you possibly can. Now I'm going to turn on my lights because, I mean, it's not dark out. It's just kind of really shady here. And I just want to make sure people can see me. That's my first downshift. We've gone up the mountain grade. Now if I would have stopped behind him, or if I would have slowed down behind him, I probably would have had to downshift 2 or 3 times by that point. There's 2, that's my second downshift. We would have been up to like 5 downshifts if we would have slowed down behind him. And again, it would have been different had there been traffic in the left-hand lane. I would have just sucked it up and downshifted. There is a caveat to that. But we're doing good right where we're at. I've gone down 2 and we're maintaining our speed. So, and I'm going to turn my flashers on. This is a unique area because you have 3 mountain passes to drive over to get to Seattle. You've got Lookout Pass, and then you've got 4th of July Pass, and then you have Snoqualmie Pass. And then if you go down to Yakima, then you've got those mountains that we went over yesterday. So there's a lot of mountain passes out here. Now don't let that get you, don't let that scare you if you're a new driver. Because if you watch my videos about driving mountain grades, which I will have in the cards right here, you will be prepared. Okay, we are getting to the top of the mountain grade here. What you putting in? All your hopes and efforts are all in vain. Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding ring? Oh, there must be more. There must be another way. There must be conscience. Different things in different ways. There must be love. There must be a reason. And a little bit of faith has got to come my way. guys, we are out here at Lookout Pass again. This is basically the area that we flew the drone the last time. Lookout Pass. And this is basically an area where you can check your brakes before you go down the mountain. And I've already done that. But just a nice, beautiful wooded area. I just love being out here. I just do. But as much as I'd love to stay up here, we've got to get going down that mountain and heading to our fuel stop. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna film going down the mountain, and then if anything else happens that's like crazy, I'm going to go ahead and turn the cameras back on again. But we're pretty much going to just be driving until we get to our fuel stop, so stay with us. Okay guys, we are here in Three Forks, Montana, waiting for a fuel pump, and we may have one after TMC moves, but it is 5 degrees outside, and one thing that I've learned throughout this entire adventure today is that GoPros, doesn't matter whether you use the extreme weather battery or the regular batteries, they do not like the extreme cold, and that's not good, because it makes it really hard when you can only get about 5 minutes worth of footage and then the battery dies. So probably not going to get much GoPro footage anymore today, and probably not until it warms up a little bit more. Thank you to XPO Logistics for taking up a fuel island instead of getting fuel. Appreciate that, because you know, nobody is more important than them while they're in the truck stop doing whatever they're gonna do. Appreciate that. And that is tractor, I can't see their tractor number. Oh, there it is, 632-9387. So tractor number 632-9387 for XPO Logistics. Thank you very much for taking up that fuel island. Appreciate that. So I'm gonna put on my GoPro on my hat so you can watch me fuel. All right, with it being 5 degrees, it's gonna be freaking cold out. I'm gonna go get fuel and then I'll be right back. Card reader wasn't working. Too cold for even the pump reader, or the card reader on the pump. Expo was done taking his half-hour break at the pump, and now is taking his break in front of the pump. It's great. places. That was freaking cold. All right, go inside, get our fuel receipt, and I'll get back on the road. So we're parked for the night, and so I know I told you guys earlier today that it wasn't going to be that exciting. There really wasn't much that was going to be done. The only thing that we could do was, you know, drive. But we're almost nearing the end of this trucking series for this trip anyway. We do have the opportunity over in Fargo, North Dakota tomorrow. I'm going to be getting the truck washed, so I'm hoping to do a little bit of filming there. And then we've got the delivery in Greenwood, Wisconsin on Monday, and then that's pretty much it. And I do hope that if you do enjoy this content, that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified the next time I upload one of these videos to YouTube. Also, if you aren't on my Facebook and my Instagram accounts, go to JJ Drones 360 on both of those. I post pictures there that you don't get to see on YouTube, so go ahead and check that out. Also, we do our live streams every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, so make sure that you come there and you join the conversation with me there. Also, if you could, share this video with your friends that are interested in the trucking industry, or even friends that just like to see travel videos, because the more that you guys share this out, the more it helps out my channel, and I do appreciate it. We still are trying to get to 500 subscribers, and when I do hit 500, I will be giving away that Holy Stone 720 drone. I appreciate all of you for coming along for this ride with me, and we'll see you later on down the road. Bye, guys.